Hello everyone, welcome to Naren Sai with MS. This is Naren and it is time for what MS taught me. Now, this is supposed to come out Wednesday and it's not like it is Thursday morning and I am uh, recording this because, as you can tell by the lighting, it is nighttime. So, yes, it is Thursday night. So, I will pretty much record today's video, which is, of course, Thursday's video, Thoughtful Thursday, right after this one. So, both of these videos will go up pretty close to each other. And another thing I did want to mention is that I will not change my t-shirt, so you will see me in the same t-shirt in two consecutive videos. Just know it's just because I am doing them 5 minutes apart. So with that said, let's get started on what MS taught me. Now, I don't think I have mentioned this as clearly before, but I have definitely made this reference multiple times, which is that, with, multiple sclerosis, despite being on probably one of the best treatments that are available, your body might progress with the disease in at different frequencies, at different speeds, and it really depends on not only you know what your lifestyle might be, but also vary definitely very greatly, especially when talking about a lot of other things. A lot of it I kind of thought of was that it's luck. I mean, we were unlucky enough to get MS, but then after that, it also was a bit of luck in terms of how quickly or slowly the disease progresses. Of course, there are multiple. I definitely did share one video yesterday, or not yesterday, but last Friday, on on another person who actually completed a half marathon at the fastest pace that someone with MS has completed a half marathon. So, when we are discussing certain things like that, I mean, obviously, it does mean that MS progresses differently for different people. But, in relation to that, my main point for this video was, of course, talking about that if you find out that you have MS or any other life altering condition, and you still feel like you have the ability to do it, have the ability to be independent, do whatever you want, have an adventure or multiple, go do it. I mean, it's definitely one of the some of my best memories are, of course, of times when I was able to hike, when I was able to do volunteering, and doing volunteering by traveling to remote villages, staying with them, focusing on a certain project, be it more environmental based or more water resources based. But that was something. And then, of course, even coming back here in 2015, I didn't end up going to Nepal for 2 years, for about 2 weeks apiece. And over in Nepal, one thing that I did was just create something, right? Build something better, make certain things better, provide disaster relief. So there was definitely, I definitely had the energy back then to do all of that. And I am so glad that I took the opportunity to do all of those things. So yes, my one of the biggest lessons that MS taught me was that if you it does not matter what the future holds. I mean, yes, you're always planning for a better future, or at least a better day every single day. Because you're already doing that, one thing that you also have to take note of, one thing that you also have to be a little careful about, or really, rather than say be careful, I think the better thing is be prudent in, you know, just realizing that you have the ability to do certain things and go ahead and do them, because you never know what the future might hold, right? I mean, it'll be a great thing if, there is a treatment that completely arrests your progression, and, you're already not on a, you know, on a high-ish EDSS score, so that, you probably are using a wheelchair more often, or, you're, you know, and you don't have that many issues with movement and walking around. So definitely do take advantage of that, because I am very grateful that I did that. So I think that is one of the biggest lessons that I do want to pass on to you. And it's funny that back in 2015, I believe, I yeah, it was 2015, um, that I had actually started a blog on, I think I called myself um, the accidental volunteer, or something like that. And it worked out. I think I only posted one thing on that blog, because I just felt like I didn't have the time to sit down and write something. But now that I'm doing this, now that I'm able to, you know, make a video and publish it on YouTube every day. But let's keep that point with an asterisk, considering what today's two videos are going to discuss. But apart from that, I have that ability to, actually make something a little quicker, um, you know, a little easier, and of course, you know, putting it on a platform that, makes it accessible to so many people. Not that a lot of people watch these videos, but, we are discussing this in 2026. We don't know what the future might have in store. So, with that said, I did want to talk about that as being one of the biggest lessons that MS has taught me, which is, if you have the ability, go ahead and do it. If you have the ability to have an adventure, or fund your adventure, or do anything adventurous that you can, that pushes your limits, go do it. Right? Go have fun, create those memories that, will probably keep you happy for a very, very long time. So um, I would suggest, please do that. But with that said, I do want to wish you a good night, a sweet dreams. Of course, please do share your thoughts, your insights, your experiences with, anything that you ended up doing, because you had the ability to do it and you didn't know what the future held, which could be positive or negative, of course. So yes, please do share all of that. And with that said, I will, of course, see you in 5 minutes for the next video, which is, of course, our Thoughtful Thursdays. And of course, so see you then. But of course, another thing I do want to talk about, considering it is Thursday, that tomorrow I will, of course, have Travel Diary Season 2, which is going to be uploaded. One thing for sure is that it is going to be maybe 2 days long, maybe 3 days long. Technically, I'm only traveling for 2 days, but or even less. But in that time, in the 2 or 3 days that I actually hold this series, I will of course discuss my experiences, what is happening, what are some of the biggest revelations that I am getting over there. So I will be sharing all of that. So it will be slightly different from Travel Diary season 1, where there was a lot of traveling montages, and of course a lot of AI music, and a lot of other things. But yes, so that is going so it's going to be slightly different. Hopefully you do like the content. But with that said, I do want to wish you a good night, sweet dreams, and I'll catch you tomorrow.